Hi, it's Chief Wynn with the Pittsfield Police Department. It's been a while since I uploaded a video of a story time with the Pittsfield Police Department, but I got a book of mine, a favorite book of mine, a new book, back from a friend yesterday, and I thought this was the perfect time to read this book. So for tonight's story time with the Pittsfield Police Department, we're going to read The Shih Tzu Who Knew Jiu-jitsu, which is a traditional martial art that I happen to practice. So let's read The Shih Tzu Who Knew Jiu-jitsu, written by Yvonne Sifuentes and illustrated by Olya Milokhina. In loving memory of my granny Lydia. Leo was just an ordinary Shih Tzu until he learned the art of Jiu-jitsu. This is his story. Like all Shih Tzus, Leo loved the outdoors. One day, as he was walking through his favorite park, he came face to face with a large pack of dogs who were notorious for causing trouble. Leo was frightened. All he wanted to do was go home, but the sight of the dogs gave him chills. He could barely move a muscle. "What's your name, short stack?" said a fierce-looking Rottweiler towering over Leo. His name was Weiler, and he was the pack leader. "I'm Leo," he said nervously. "Well, I've got news for you," said Weiler. "We're the roughs, and this is our turf. We decide who can be here." "But it's a public park, and it's my favorite place to play," said Leo. Weiler immediately advanced on Leo and pinned him to the ground. Then, narrowing his eyes and baring his sharp teeth, he growled, "This is the roughs' park, understand?" Leo cowered beneath the Rottweiler, covering his face with his paws. A few moments passed before Weiler let out a nasty laugh, then released him. "I'm just kidding," he said. "You should have seen your face. I tell you what, why don't you join our gang and hang with us?" Leo didn't know how to respond. He was scared to say no, but he knew that joining the roughs wasn't a good idea. Trembling with fear, he gulped, then said, "No, I don't want to be in a gang." "Oh," Weiler snickered, "you thought I was asking you? Well, you thought wrong. I'm telling you to join us." The rest of the roughs surrounded Leo threateningly, all of them looking down at the little dog. "I'll let you go this time," said Weiler. "But if we see each other again, understand this. I will make you join the gang. Now run off." When Leo returned home, he wasn't his normal cheerful self. The roughs had given him a choice: either join the gang or never visit his favorite park again. "What should I do?" he whined loudly. "I love the park, but I can't face those dogs again." Startling Leo, a voice nearby barked at him. "Hey, you over there! What are you whimpering about?" Leo peeked through his fence into the neighbor's yard and noticed a doghouse. "Stop crying," continued the voice. I'm not crying." "Well, pretty close to it. Tell me what's wrong, and maybe I can help you." "Really?" asked Leo doubtfully. A female poodle appeared at the entrance of the doghouse. "Who are you?" asked Leo. "I've never seen you around before." "My name is Bon Bon," said the poodle. "I just moved here last night." Leo giggled. "What's so funny?" exclaimed Bon Bon. "Oh, nothing," replied Leo. "I'd pictured someone else helping me out. It's just that I have a big problem. And I'm going to need someone a lot bigger than you to help. Bonbon smiled and said, "Don't be fooled by my size. Looks can be deceiving. I'll tell you what. See that old woodpile in the back? Well, there's a hole in the fence there. Come over to my yard and tell me all about it." Leo made his way through the fence, then joined Bonbon. It was a gang of dogs. They called themselves the Roughs. The poodle laughed. "The Roughs? Are they up to no good again?" "You know them?" asked Leo. "Who doesn't know them? I've lived all over this town. Everyone knows the Roughs," said Bonbon. "Well, it was my first time meeting them," he told Bonbon. He told Bonbon what happened at the park, especially about how frightened he was and when he refused Weiler's demand. "So now you know the whole story. Do you really think you can help me?" "Of course I can help you," answered Bonbon. "But let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of Jiu-jitsu?" "Jewy what?" asked Leo, confused. The poodle corrected him. "It's pronounced Jiu-jitsu." "No, I've never heard of Jiu-jitsu," said Leo. "It's a gentle art of self-defense that teaches you how to protect yourself. Let me explain." Bonbon trotted into her doghouse and rummaged around for a few minutes. Then she reappeared, wearing a robe-like outfit. "What's that?" asked Leo. "It's a gi," said Bonbon. "It's worn by those who train jiu-jitsu. Now listen carefully. If you ever get into a situation where you have to defend yourself, there are 4 rules to remember. Rule number 1. If you can, avoid fighting at all costs. Rule number 2. If you get attacked, defend yourself. Rule number 3. You should never kick or punch an attacker. Instead, try to restrain him or her and talk it out. "But how do I do that?" asked Leo. "When someone attacks you," explained Bonbon, "protect your face, move forward like a rhino, grab him tightly, and take him to the ground." As Bonbon demonstrated the self-defense moves, Leo noticed how much control the poodle had over him. No matter how hard he tried, Leo could not free himself. "Now, rule number 4 is very important, so pay attention," said Bonbon. "In jiu-jitsu, when you force your attacker to give up, it's called a submission." "That hurts," yelped Leo. "Well, of course it hurts," replied Bonbon. "That's why it's the most important rule. Before applying these moves, you have to talk to the attacker so that you can give him a chance to leave you alone." "Oh, I see," said Leo. "Jiu-jitsu seems great, but do you really think it could help someone as small as I am?" Bonbon laughed. "Do you realize you're talking to a poodle? I'm not exactly big by any means. Now come on, let's start practicing." As the weeks passed, Leo's confidence began to grow, and he became joyful again. He had learned so much about self-defense that the thought of the Roughs didn't scare him anymore. Finally, the day came when he decided to visit the park again. And who did he see first? The Roughs. "Well, well, well," said Weiler. "Look who we have here. It's our old friend, Shortstack." Leo didn't want any trouble, but as he tried to walk away, the Roughs surrounded him. There was no escape. "I've been looking for you." "Are you ready to join us?" said Weiler. Leo wasn't afraid. Remembering the 4 rules of jiu-jitsu, he looked at the Rottweiler straight in the eyes. "No," said Leo confidently. "You're not a good dog, and I don't want to be part of your gang." "What?" growled Weiler. "Nobody says no to me. I run this turf, so you will do as I say." Then, without warning, Weiler charged at Leo. Leo quickly protected his face and made a move that caught Weiler completely off guard. The big dog struggled to break free as Leo held onto him tightly. "What are you doing?" yelled Weiler. "Get off of me!" "Are you going to stop?" asked Leo. "There's no need for this." "I don't negotiate with anyone," said Weiler, still struggling. "Especially not someone as small as you." "Well then," said Leo, "you leave me no choice." Leo applied a submission, just like Bonbon had taught him, forcing Weiler to cry out, Okay, I'll stop." The roughs couldn't believe their eyes. Their fearless leader had been defeated. "I don't understand," said a stunned Weiler. "It happened so fast, and you didn't even hit me. How is this possible?" Leo stepped back and helped the big dog to his feet. Smiling, he replied, "Weiler, welcome to the art of Jiu-jitsu." As the rest of the gang looked on, Weiler spoke two words that no one had ever heard him say before. "I'm sorry." Leo looked straight into Weiler's eyes and said, "Do me a favor. Stop being a bully. Treat others the way you'd like to be treated." From that moment on, Weiler and the roughs had a change of heart. They wanted to learn from Leo and become better dogs. They asked him if he could teach them jiu-jitsu. Leo was happy to show them what he'd learned from Bonbon. He taught them the principles of jiu-jitsu, when to use them, and how to apply them in a confrontation. The dogs soon became best of friends as they spent their days practicing jiu-jitsu and playing together in the park. From then on, brave little Leo was forever known as the Shih Tzu who knew jiu-jitsu. And that has been The Shih Tzu Who Knew Jiu-Jitsu, written by Yvonne, Sifuentes, and illustrated by Olya, Milokhina. And although I love this book, I wish jiu-jitsu was that easy to learn and to acquire, but it's not. So if you're actually interested in jiu-jitsu, find a jiu-jitsu academy or a jiu-jitsu school where you can study, just like I do. I hope you enjoyed the book, and I'll see you soon for another story time with the Pittsfield Police Department. Good night.